Welcome back, everyone, to Flyball and Friends. Today we have someone I've never met in person, but I'm so glad I got his contact info from a friend to have his interview. Dave Mainprize. All right, welcome, Dave. I'm glad that you could take some time out of your day to be here. I'm trying to definitely get a world aspect of different people around Flyball in different areas, so I'm glad that you could join me from where you are. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, no worries, man. So my name's Dave. Mainprize is the last name, and we live in Ontario. Grew up in a farm all my life.
What team do you play on?
So the team we're currently playing on is called Land Sharks, and so they're from the Napanee Belleville area.
How long have you been playing for?
So we've been playing for 10 plus years, and it's been a family thing, as I mentioned to you there earlier today. We've been involved as far as a family right from the get-go. My daughter was 6 when she started, so she's 17 now. So my wife and daughter have been doing the primary racing. I've been box loading for 10 years straight. Love the box loading aspect of it. Had a little bit of racing experience, but nothing major. But definitely enjoy being a box loader. So.
That's cool. We need those people. It's always hard to find them sometimes, so.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
How many dogs do you guys have?
So we currently have 3 right now. Well, of course, we started out with 1. My wife was never really a dog lover, although she's a pet lover, so she was more of a cat person. And I've always been a dog person myself. Growing up on the farm, we had 1 dog. And so finally we decided, you know what, we're going to get a dog. And once we decided to do that, we wanted to do something with it. And so we had seen a local flyball club in the area and watched a couple demos, got very interested in it. And so we just pursued it a little bit further. And here we are 10 plus years later, involved in flyball pretty extensively. We've got currently right now our oldest boy that we started out with flyball about 10 years ago. He's now retired, but he's reached all the goals that we wanted him to reach plus more. And so my daughter's got a little dash hound mix that she's racing, and she's also racing another dog of a friend of ours, border collie mix, or actually, sorry, purebred border collie. And then my wife, we've got a purebred whippet in training right now, and so he's been on the race mats and doing very well. So yeah, we've currently got, I would say, full-time racing, definitely 1 out of the 3 retired, and the other one's kind of more part-time. So yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. It's always good to have spread out through and not just a whole bunch racing at the same time.
Yeah, that would be very busy.
Yeah, for sure. So you were saying that you went to a couple demos, and that's kind of what got you into flyball, you were saying?
Yeah, so we had some, because we live in the country, we have some local fairs that were putting on different shows, dog shows and stuff, and one happened to be flyball. So a local club that was in the area was putting on a demo, and so we were watching. What really caught our eye was the whippet, of course, and we've quickly found out since now we have a whippet, we are in love with the breed. I mean, we love all dogs, and all 3 of our dogs have a special place in our heart, but the whippet is just a whole different breed altogether. So we were watching the whippets race and doing their jumps and stuff and whatever. And so we asked some questions and pursued it a little bit further and got into it. And then, it was we got hooked. It was very easy to get hooked. And I'm sure you could probably attest to that, Alex, that once you get involved in the sport, it's like an addiction, so to speak. And so we were decided it to be a family sport, and so we involve all 3 of us, which is great. And it's been a lot of fun. So that's how it all started.
Cool. How often does your team practice?
So, well, of course, up till what's been going on the road today, we were practicing on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Practicing on a Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4, so about 3 or 4 hours every weekend. And also encouraged, of course, by our great coach and our assistant coach to do what we need to do at home too, as far as keeping our dogs conditioned, keeping our dogs fit, and just doing whatever training we can do at home. So yeah, that's kind of like what on a weekly basis that's what we've been doing.
Cool. Do you guys travel lots for flyball?
Yeah, we do. I think probably the most local one we have is we're in the town that we actually do our practicing in, Napanee, Ontario, which is just west of Kingston area. And so it's about an hour drive for us thereabouts to our training facility. But yeah, the majority of our flyball is in the Ottawa area. We also do some in the Toronto area have in the past, and towards Hamilton area.
Yeah.
We've also come down into the States a few times, which is great because you get to see other teams and other clubs and meet new people, which is great. We're all a flyball family, as I'm sure you'll attest to. But the majority of our racing is in Ottawa area, and we love the area. We get to know the different clubs in that area, and the nice thing about that area is that it's close enough to the border that some of the clubs from the States can join us too, which is great. So it opens up the versatility. But yeah, for the most part, we do definitely travel at least 3 or 4 hours away for our tournaments.
Cool. Have you been to or hosted any seminars?
My wife, and along with the coach and a few others from the club, have been to seminars in the Ottawa area, doing a lot of work one-on-one, especially with our whippet, because if you know whippets, they're a hard train, and once they get it, they seem to get it. But yeah, so my wife's been involved again along with our coach, probably at least 3 different seminars in the last 2 years, and been very, very beneficial. And we've seen some real good outcomes come from that. As far as hosting seminars, we've hosted some like open house things just to open to the public, just to give people a chance to know what flyball is all about, and give them a chance to ask questions and see what this game's and sport's all about. So, but yeah, that's basically it.
Cool. What's the farthest you've traveled for flyball?
I would say the farthest we've traveled for flyball is down in the States. We were at Syracuse, New York, and so that would be well, actually, a step back. The farthest we have actually traveled, as far as flyballs, down in Indianapolis, Indiana, where we went to Can-Am, and we've been to Can-Am 3 years now, and but on a regular basis, or whatever you want to call it, through the regular tournaments or regular season, I would say Syracuse, New York was probably the farthest we've been.
Awesome. Cool. Is there any place in the world that you'd love to go, whether it's compete, train, or even just watch?
I was doing some thinking about that, and we've often talked, not only as a family, but as a club, that we love to go to the East Coast. Nothing against the West Coast, obviously, but we love to go to the East Coast, into New Brunswick, or even down further, and do some racing here. I know some of our close local competitor teams have gone that far and had a real good response and a real good time. So we've talked as a club about maybe pursuing that, once things start back up again.
Awesome. That's a good haul. I'd like to definitely do something like that too. I've been to Toronto once for a tournament just to watch, but other than that, I haven't done too much on that side of the nation, I guess. What do you like about playing flyball?
Well, there's so much I can really to that answer, Alex, to be honest with you. But I think the biggest thing is that it gives us a chance to play with our dogs, to keep our dogs fit, also to meet new people. And as I said to you earlier, when we talked about wanting to have a dog, we wanted to do something with him or her. And so here we are playing flyball and stuff, and thoroughly enjoying it. And I think that would be the biggest thing, but also getting to know people and having the same common goals, or same common hobby in mind. And so that would be probably the most of it, I would think.
Cool. Is there any team or person that you love to race against?
I was doing some thinking about that question, and I'm not sure if it's any particular team that that we would say, okay, we really want to race them or whatever. And I think that's because we are willing to race anybody and everybody.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure depending on where you stand as far as the total speed or the best time of your club or of your race team, I'm sure it'd be really cool to race one of those top teams. And so if that answer makes sense, I think that would probably be, in a nutshell, would be probably my answer, is that maybe having a chance to race these real top teams. But I think we all try to strive to do that as a flyball team and as a flyball club, but to do our best, right?
Yeah.
So
cool. What is your guys' personal best time? Do you know?
We personal best time, I know we're down in the low 17s, and I mean I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty positive that's what it was. So
okay. Do you find you guys race better or like to race more if it's closer racing?
We love the close racing. Not only is it a bit of an adrenaline rush for the racing team, but also as a box loader, there's a huge adrenaline rush to it. Because you're almost side-eyeing, or whatever you want to call it, the other team, just to see how close we are, and that's the enjoyable part. And we've always said, man, that was a close race, and we really, it just ups it a little bit, you know what I mean? And at the end of it, you shake each other's hands and you congratulate each other, one another, saying that was an awesome race. So yeah, I would say the close racing is probably the most fun, I would guess.
Excellent. Okay. Do you have any, or would you happen to recall any earlier memories of flyball?
So memories of flyball. Well, I wrote down a few things here actually, and I got a couple memories that kind of stick out to us, if that's what you're asking, Alex.
Yeah.
So one would be, and of course when we just had the one dog racing, our mixed breed. He obviously was in his prime at this point in time, and he was young and full of energy and whatever. And I remember racing down in Hamilton, and he was the anchor dog, and he always was able just to bring it home, especially when the racing was close.
Yeah.
And I remember on his way back, and I think it was tie 2-2 or something like that, and he was on his way back after retrieving the ball. And if you knew Teal, which is the name of our dog, he was not one for dropping the ball. And so he, for whatever reason, just fumbled the ball on the way back. It hit the jump. It bounced up in the air probably about 4 feet or so. In midair, as he's in mid-stride, catches the ball, doesn't miss a beat, and brings it home like he always done. And even not the box judges, but the line judges were like, what just happened here? And the head table was cheering. And so that was a moment that really stuck out, and he was in his prime. And so of course we're more than happy for him, and we actually took the race. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. That's a good story. I've never seen that, so that's cool.
It's amazing, yeah. And he was the type of dog, even to this day, even though he doesn't play as much now, he can hold 3 tennis balls in his mouth, if you can imagine that. So it's unbelievable. So now I do have another second one, if that's okay to share with you, Alex.
Of course, yes.
It was probably the first or second year that we actually went to Can-Am, and we were into the semifinal round the second day. We were in the semifinals in our division that we were in, and we had won up a division because we'd done so well the day before. So again, the racing was a little bit more tighter, which was cool. And I remember we're racing neck to neck, and of course, all teams have a certain order of dogs that go. And as a box holder, you have a certain order that dogs are supposed to be in. And all of a sudden, this wrong dog's coming down the lane. The ball that I need is in the opposite side it needs to be in. And so being as quick as I try to be, I change the ball over, and without getting my fingers bitten off, obviously. And it was clean. It was like nothing. It was like it's supposed to happen that way. Obviously, the team realized that this happened, but didn't miss a beat. They continued on, and you would never know that there was that mistake that happened. And to top it all off, we end up winning that semifinal and getting first in that division. And
Awesome.
so it was a pretty cool feeling, and definitely the adrenaline was rushing. Of course, I don't expect it, but I know that the team come up to me, so thanks, Dave, for doing that. You just saved our hide. And I said, hey, man, that's what I'm here for. And that's the box holder's job, is to, when you see a slight oops or whatever you want to call it, you have to react. And so I reacted as quick as I could. And so it was a cool feeling. It's a cool
Yeah,
feeling.
a good box loader is worth their weight in gold.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, what about any personal goals for you or even just the family?
Personal goal, I think, for right now, we're just continuing to do it as a family. My daughter's at the age now where she's going to be going to university in a couple of years, and so my wife and I have talked about continuing as long as we possibly can. We love the sport so much. We love the people that we're involved in. We love our club, that we're going to continue doing it as long as we possibly can. And the unfortunate thing is that right now, because with COVID-19 going on, the restrictions that we have, and hopefully, before the year out or even before the fall, whatever, we can get back into practicing again. But our goal is right from the get-go, was to strive to do our best, to strive to have our dogs succeed. Our oldest boy that's now retired is, as I said earlier to you, has reached his goals and more. He's got his Onyx plaque and he's got all these points, and so we're more than happy with him. And so our goal right now is to see where we can get the whippet to, and we love to get another whippet and maybe get myself into the race lane. And as much as I like the box loading, but hey, I can try both and see how we make out. So
That's right.
but yeah, I think that would be our goal as a family.
Cool. What do you do for a living?
So I'm currently working at a local paper mill, and I've been there 12 years. So it's nice and close to home, and so that's what I'm currently doing right now.
And do you have any hobbies outside of flyball?
Yeah, certainly, because we do live on the country. I always like working with my hands. So building stuff, redoing kitchen cabinets. I've been the one that's in charge of doing all the equipment and stuff with our club, making jumps and backboard, whatever it is needed to be done. And so that's great, because again, I like working with my hands. And so interesting enough, flyball, as you can probably attest to, takes up a lot of our time through the summer. But when we're not doing flyball, we as a family love to go camping. And so not only do we use our 30-foot camper trailer for flyball, we use it for our family camping. So we love the outdoors. We love taking the dogs out in the wilderness and swimming and what have you. So that would be probably our biggest hobbies.
Cool. That's I find that's a definite big thing now with flyball since I've started, is now the campers have started to come out and everyone camping on site and hanging out afterwards and around the fire with their teams and everything. So
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
okay, well, I think that's most of the questions I have for you. The only main one that I have now is there anything you would recommend for anyone starting out in flyball?
Yeah, so I guess my thought on this one, Alex, would be is that certainly pursue if you're interested in the flyball, but get I would say the best way to do this is to get as much knowledge of what flyball is all about, and understanding that flyball, as fun as it is that it is a commitment. And so that being aware that you're going to be away certain weekends and stuff, and how is that going to affect your not only your family life, but extended family and work and everything too. So it's certainly a balance, and I know that as a family we have talked about that, and that's makes it a little bit easier because we are doing it as a family unit. And so for us, it's we're committed as a family. So certainly do your homework on what flyball is all about. Ask questions, watch some tournaments, watch some demos, whatever it might be. And also too, I've often said this to people, that if you're looking for a dog, certainly do your homework there too. You want to find the dog that's obviously going to, number one, fit to your home, fit to your lifestyle, and that's someone you can adapt to into the flyball world. So
awesome, very well put. I always say that it's almost like if your kid is in hockey or something, the commitment that you have to put into whether it's going traveling or just basic workouts. If you want your kid to excel in the sport, you want to do obviously your homework, you want to do exercising, and just the commitment is a lot bigger than people expect just to go out and race your dogs if you want to compete at a higher level. So
for sure, yeah, absolutely.
Perfect, sounds good. Okay, well, thanks for taking time out of your day. I'm so glad that you could spend your day with me, and hopefully at some point I can come out there and race with you guys, or see you maybe at Can-Am and actually get a good face-to-face meet. So
yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, it's a small world, buddy. Small world.
Very true, very true. Okay, Dave, thanks again. Thanks again, Dave. Hope everyone enjoyed the video today. Hope everyone is staying safe and healthy as well. If you guys are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to hit the like button as well. If you have any suggestions who else would love to be on this channel, please make sure that you comment below, or if you want, get a hold of me. Until next time, see you then.